My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
It is Monday, April 25th, 2022. It's currently 8:21 a.m. I'm proceeding north on Euclid Avenue, leaving the Ontario Museum of History and Arts and the YMCA crossing path. Vehicle license plate 43115H2, I believe. License 7VHX853. 8TWG445-29946W2. 7VMG926. 6SQV576. 569TU, that's handicap. 63005Z2. 6XEL141. 85814R1. These are third parties who are indeed engaged in what is crossing path, while the entity is engaged in, as an entity, maintaining the elements of monitoring, which I remain subject to. It's 8:22 a.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, EMH Transportation, that's a trucking company, molesting with directed light while they cross path on Euclid Avenue. License 8TLP099-88292D3. Cut and Dry Restoration, 93392F1, 7BYJ473, iHeartGRMMR, 8PQU280, 8SVF824, 8NVP051. And again, that's molestation by EMH. That's the logo on this large white truck. 5THJ561. Directed light is the act of the demonic. It is the supernatural. This is a demon that's engaging in what is touching while they're engaging in criminal monitoring. And the rest of the people of the state are monitoring as well. They are part of that same ongoing sex offense while they are crossing path together, engaging in that demonic activity as one. And that is particularly a third party that is engaging in what is referred to as a molestation with that which is not even naturally occurring. It's directed light. That's what a molestation is, by the way. You're going out of your way to touch, and you're touching with that which is literally of the demonic for purposes of this criminal system. That's what directed light is. And that is also speaking to what is direct evidence for federal group stalking and monitoring. It is also speaking to what is irreducible evidence of what is an entire system, as I've captured thousands of video documentation and images showing you what is impossible light activity, while people of the state, regardless of where I'm at, engage in that same identical conduct, while they're engaging in nothing other than what is passing by me. 7YDS248, and it's 8:25 a.m. That molestation is underway. P.O.C. 5SXT226. 8HZU313. Looks like First Student is the name on this school bus crossing path. 7FAS557. 6ZUJ750. 7UO2288. 7WKR444. Brink Security 2916119T, I believe. I can't really see Brink Security license plate, the whole one, but it's the blue and white plates. I believe it's Indiana as well, and I think those are federal plates as well that Brink Security bears on their vehicles while they're engaged in the P.O.C. 1302408, Chaffee Joint Union High School. That's a demon. Directed light while they're driving on the road and manifesting that light in the shade at that. All right, that's entirely demonic. It is 8:27 a.m. 6PAJ 422. SoCal Gas 27230M1. BHG 349 14955Z2 star 4RBY Z2 8WDU 938 8XJE 989 8JFS 022 4XIZ 495 Chafee Joint Union 1302404 8CYG 547 8YHH 628 8AKD 224 5SET 967 8UPG 447, 7CTJ 480, 6PMH 982. YONOSE 41038G1. Frontier Communications crossing path as well. They're going west on Hall Boulevard. 15326G1. 289243 is the license plate on the front of this vehicle with the Aaron logo on it. It's out of state. Aaron is spelled ARAN. Okay. License 52295H3, and that vehicle crosses paths with an out-of-state license plate on it, and directed light. I mean, the same exact demonic activity, the impossible occurrence with any type, it doesn't matter, with regard to, again, revealing what's demonic conduct, and this is also speaking to a state system. 4ZEX134 99819P2 7JXL079 8Z10179 6J34695 5NBA529 5JAV037 Bell Cab's crossing path, license 5XDM862, and Bell Cab license is, okay, it's here, 8DSS961. Bell Cab is a commercial actor, readily identifiable. They're part of the same sex offense that I'm documenting, which is ceaselessly underway. And that is the perpetual sex offense. Here comes Amtrak. Let's see the license plate on that vehicle. Let's see, vehicle 46351, P80282. That's the vehicle. Amtrak is a coach, and they are crossing path, driving onto Euclid Avenue with directed light, just like every other demon. 98KX730. 16172V2. And it's 8:32 a.m. It's 8:32 a.m. and I captured another image of what is the ARAN, ARAN, this vehicle that is, this demon particularly driving this commercial vehicle is pacing back and forth, so I was able to show you the logo on the side of that vehicle. It's 8:33 a.m. And, let's see, license plate 60314X1, Senior Septic, 6WEU564, 5WXT616, 11658J3, 7JJH382, 8UDH628, 8V80132, EZDSPNY, 6VNM188, 68078S1, 7D76332, 40925H, I can't see that, I'm sorry, 7PKB145. 6VOF 732, 7SMR 236. License 8WVY 709. It's 8:34 a.m.
I need to talk to you about some. I've been recently. I've been going to this other church for a Bible study, and I've never been to a church where I sat down and I felt the took of the Lord to hey, not a bad thing.
It's 8:35 a.m. License 80351C3 80426Y1. That's IPC Inland Paper Company Incorporated. 7MZE 793 8BBM. I can't see that one. 5NPU 522 8RKV 992. BXV4 105 Washington. 4RPN 722 6YNG 576. 777373. Molesting with directed light. And as you'll listen to the content of this audible activity of this demon-possessed third-party group stalker sitting in operation of a communication device under the light source that's at this bus stop, the same bus stop that I was at 7:31 in the morning, and I got right on the bus, and that fake sun went with me to Upland, remained over my head. It's today after 7:30. It's 8:36 a.m. And yesterday I was at 7-Eleven at this time. The intersection of Ramona and Holt Boulevard in Montclair. Not on Euclid Avenue, and you're listening to him talk about what is a Bible study. It's audible activity, and this is the demon-possessed that like to engage in that sort of activity creation. 8SVN 386. P.O.C. JC Sales, license 7B43382, and it's 8:41 a.m. And I am on the bus where you see the demon operating this bus. This is a male, perhaps a Latino male, directed light across the building. That's across the sidewalk. This is spectacular directed light while a demon is operating a commercial vehicle, engaging, in other words, in state surveillance, engaging what is terrorism while that is underway, representing a company, while they're also fully monitoring documentation. And I'm also showing you the fake sun that's at the same bus stop where I just captured video the other day at 7:31 a.m. and I got right on the bus, and that fake sun went to Upland. If that's the sun, then it's not going to be present at that same bus stop. Not only that, I'm in Montclair yesterday, and I'm showing you the demon-possessed police agency, the Montclair Police Department, who are group stalking while the fake sun is literally over my head as I'm sitting at the back of the bus. And the bus that I'm on is Route 61 that's going westbound into the city of Montclair. And then I get off at 8:35, which is where I captured this video today at approximately 8:36, I believe I started it. And at this time yesterday, 24 hours ago, I'm standing on the sidewalk at the Ramona Avenue and Holt Boulevard intersection where I remained yesterday until after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And there certainly is no sun that's over that bus stop. First of all, while I'm getting on the bus early in the hour, and then also that's not the sun. It's an indication while I'm also at this bus stop. As I just got on the bus, the fake sun moves to remain over me, goes to Upland, but yet I'm documenting it again, as I've already shown you, getting on that same bus stop, and that fake sun is over me in that same position, directly over my head, moving as I move, as I get on a bus at 10:30, at 12:30, as I documented February 4th, for example, after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is speaking to what is nothing other than stalking with light. And that's exactly what I documented as I was on Route 61, going in an utterly different direction, that is westbound on Hope Boulevard, into Montclair, where I remained, and then the entity placed the fake sun remaining in alignment with me, aiming light into Starbucks, which is not sunlight, and that's not the sun. It is the pattern of stalking with light. And today, going northbound up Euclid Avenue, just like I was remind you of, is the case with this fake sun as I was going westbound on Hope Boulevard yesterday. And you are witnessing what is the grounds of prosecution of the people of the state, while that demon operating this bus is engaged in what is terrorism. Directed light appears on the outside of the bus all around. Directed light appears on the inside of the bus, as I've documented Omnitrans engagement. Omnitrans is not alone. It's a pattern of conduct the demon possessed engaged in stalking and molesting with directed light. It is 8:43 a.m. 18013V1, security paving, stalking in the path of light activity as well. I did not see security paving's license plate, but security paving is readily identifiable, heavily documented, and they're monitoring just like they always are. License 7KVV335, I believe. Is 8:45 a.m. O Park crossing path. O Park is the commercial vehicle spelled OPARC. 7PLU776. We are at 7th Street in Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. License 09171S1. That's Clear Post. Commercial vehicle.
Street.
90546S2. TOP124. This is bus number, by the way, 1364, and the employees, the operator's employee number is not displayed on the bus. (8VKW203). (4MB267). See that one. 8COA 6. I can't see that one either.
A Street.
I believe it's 8GS44. You can scratch that one. I can't see it. We are in Upland at. This is the IHOP, 8th Street and Euclid Avenue. At 8:48 a.m. License 8HAD035. 7CSB746.
Street.
8YIE904. Bus services crossing path. 93512. 888.
Harassment Street.
93546B2. That's a commercial vehicle crossing path, and a bird type crossing path as well on the opposite side of you, but they're going southbound. 43679U1.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible, favor usar la puerta trasera.
TQK998. 9ANL491, 7YQW181, 8YIE904, 57365X2, 8TTH592, 8Z36441, 7YEZ427. And let's see, that was already. It is 8:51 a.m. at Foothill and Euclid Avenue in Upland, California.
Foothill Boulevard.
Alrighty, this bus, license plate 1535754, monitoring is 88EJ672, 6RKL051. They're remaining present on the bus. So all the minions I took a picture of while they were getting off the bus, right? What these demons are doing, they're lined up behind the bus, and the form is that, oh, it's traffic because the bus stopped at the bus stop. They are maintaining relevant positioning while I am still on the bus. That's what those group stalkers, that's 6RKL license plate, what I just read. They know exactly where I'm at. They're maintaining presence while minions, that's the objective. Also while touching and surrounding with directed light. This is the ongoing concerted act. So these demons, aware of the fact that the other ones, first of all, I used my phone. I took a picture. Okay, there's that. Demons are monitoring. And then also you have what is minions that are walking off the bus. Okay, so they're getting off the bus. You have to maintain presence. You have the bus driver in the front. You have one that's getting on the bus. You have the entity that's aiming directed light on that bus. Okay, my shadow's appearing on both sides of me. This is impossible light. It's also impossible while the entity is at this time keeping a fake sun on the east side of the Starbucks in Montclair. There is no sun that's over Foothill Boulevard. Okay, there is no sunlight that's reaching in and touching on my person and under the seats and creating shadows. Okay, that's the pattern of cunning. That was bus 1364. Even so, this license plate that I read, again, getting off the bus, they're group stalking. They're maintaining presence behind the vehicle of the bus, and that is the form of the bus is blocking and it has nothing to do with traffic. They're group stalking, and they're keeping me surrounded as I am in operation of my phone and getting off of the bus. Okay, this is the psychopath stalker, and I'm breaking down their conduct that they engage in and the intent that they maintain, the motive of what they're doing. License plate 7WND240, 8AXX725, group stalking at Uptown and Country, where the fake sun is right here. License 8ZKX823. Garda World is group stalking at the intersection of Foothill and Euclid Avenue. It's 8:55 a.m. 6LUV662, 7GKM847. Mission Linen 03354T2. That's Mission Linen and Uniform Service. Group stalking. Just like they are when I'm on Hope Boulevard and there is no sun that's hovering over Foothill. in Ontario. And that's where Mission Linen engages in group stalking as well. And that is the specific documentation of you are indeed stalking. You're in that specific environment, and it's not a coincidence why I'm capturing the fake sun over me while you're using your commercial vehicle stalking at every place, right? And then you're understanding what is specific forms of harassment while the entity engages in this pattern very often. License 8BOY 987, it's a demon. License 8YPB 488, 7GMZ 917, 8KWL 196, 5PLM 576, 8XGT 386, 5KTB 455, 6LSJ 120, I believe, 3155 8G3, 5EBF 630, 6DBV 699, 7UJF 885, 7ZTR 803. Group stalking in the U.S. bank parking lot, which you know because there's a fake sun on the street, but they're literally sitting in their cars. Group stalking meaning maintaining presence in the path. The bus arrives, you're maintaining presence in a parking lot as I walk up the sidewalk, whichever direction I may go. I walk through the U.S. bank parking lot. You're using your vehicle as a means of light activity while you're engaging in surveillance sitting in that vehicle. License 8SVN 386. And I'll show you this group stalker. Fake sun is right over me. Alrighty, that is surveillance. The fake sun is right over the right over my head as I'm facing her vehicle. She's engaged in surveillance as I cross the street, as I get off the bus. This is called lining the path, and it's inside of the parking lot of the U.S. Bank. The U.S. Bank is located at 20 East Foothill Boulevard. This is the same U.S. Bank, by the way, that I arrived at after 12 p.m. Approximately, it was 12:10 p.m. I believe on Sunday, last Sunday. Where I was at, again, where the entity's keeping a fake sun yesterday at this time, 7BFJ 845, and it is not over in a U.S. bank in Upland, California. And it is impossible that would ever be the case. It's not possibly the case. And the entity didn't just place it over that Starbucks where I didn't arrive until after 2 o'clock in the afternoon last Sunday. Okay, not the Sunday yesterday, the last Sunday before that. The 8BRF738 is this minion's license plate. You see her wearing high heels. She's getting out of her vehicle as I begin walking, entering into the parking lot. This is a stalker that is still monitoring and also wants to appear as though that they are not monitoring you. They're just there. They just happen to be there, getting out of their car. This is what these demons do, and they're right under the fake sun. All right, the light source is captured over me in Montclair. Is speaking to what you are actually doing, and you're a psychopath doing it. ATQC 166, 6NIV 193, and you're delusional. License 8Z65324, 8XYY335, 8PAB025, all of them group stalking in this parking lot of U.S. Bank. License EYW102, 4YKL169. Seven RAF 741, 6VVN 863, $8PDG 099, 6CXF 047, C8PQU 940. 7MJP958, 51218L1, 8LLN 544. This is at 80 East Foothill Boulevard, 76 East Foothill Boulevard, 80 East Foothill Boulevard. They have suite numbers. They're all group stalking over here. Maintaining presence in the path. Let me show you this. 8CYB 317. Capturing video at 9 o'clock in the morning while I'm at 80 East Foothill Boulevard, the hair parlor, which is adjacent to the McDonald's at 100 East Foothill Boulevard. group stalking. The fake sun remains over me while I'm in motion today. Yesterday at this time, I'm stationary sitting inside of the Starbucks in Montclair, California at Ramona and Holt, 8D and W572, where the entity will keep a fake sun for an excess of 3 hours stationary over my head inside of that Starbucks until I move at 12:08 p.m. 4WGR378, 7AQE611, 8PDG099, FR837 handicap, 5XFR578, 7LKE562, 07767T2, 852KM handicap, 1GAM938, 8GGN817, 8XZD005. This is the maintenance of audible activity while I'm approaching the property of McDonald's at 100 East Foothill Boulevard. It's 9:04 a.m. All right, 9:11 a.m. showing you what is the light activity. I do start capturing video while the entity starts with the light show in here, and so I want you to see. I've already documented the light activity inside of McDonald's. Hi, is it Lionel? Hi, what's your name? Helen. Hi, Helen. Can I get a cup of ice, please? Sorry? Cup of ice. Ice. Can you hear me? Ice. Just ice.
Oh, okay.
It is. Thank you. You guys have tops over there? Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Thank you, Helen. Helen and the rest of these employees are monitoring. And they're all demons that are fixing your hamburgers and your french fries inside your neighborhood McDonald's. It's the same exact pattern of conduct. And as I was standing outside of the McDonald's, you saw the fake sun over me as I'm approaching. As I've already shown, the entity moves that fake sun to be over the McDonald's as is already documented. All right, and that is mutually exclusive to being anywhere in Montclair, as I pointed out and as you can clearly see in the videos. It is 9:12 a.m. and also a fake sun is speaking to the pattern of stalking with light, engineered light, the light activity, the light shows, which is entirely demonic in its terrorism, while demons, the psychopaths that they are, engage in that conduct and show what are psychopaths through their conduct in that environment, which is off-putting and disconcerting, is absolutely peculiar. It's a part of the pattern of conduct, and it is an unpersuasive one. All right, that's speaking to what is the malice of the P.O.C. That's speaking to the impermissible threat. That's speaking to what are the demon-possessed. And they are engaging in what is intentional presence. All right, it is currently 9:12 a.m. P.O.C. This is a demon using the soda fountain, stalking with noise, whatever they have. Old dirt bag with liver spots. Around the corner from croaking and healing over. It is P.O.C. It's currently 9:13 a.m. License 7KIG117. And again, this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. I think I read this one already. 852KM. That's a handicap. And it's 9:13 a.m. 8XZD005. The video that I captured inside, first of all, I have also specifically shown you what is the a light show inside of the same exact McDonald's, but this is, again, the pattern. When I show you inside of the Starbucks, inside of the parking garages, inside of the libraries, on the sidewalks, when I'm walking outside, wherever it is that I am, while I'm on public transportation, while I'm in the vehicle of Tracy Banks, okay? They are the people of the state. They're third-party facilitating venues, WA6TQL, 8DOS455. The ongoing pattern of what are these light shows, and that's putting it in a light way. This is terrorism, while the ordinary target individual is surrounded in this sort of very alarming environment, and everyone around you is looking the opposite direction, which I show you in video, and I want you to look at that. You're going to look at the P.O.C. of what is the malice that the demons that are stalking you maintain, their outward conduct, and the absolutely alarming environment that you're surrounded by. That is the pattern of the people of the state who are monitoring you, and it is speaking to the ways in which you're going to prosecute for terrorism. It is an unpersuasive form. It is showing what are the psychopaths that they actually are. They're monitoring you while your panties are down. They're group stalking while you're looking at and witnessing and being molested with directed light. 7APG304, they're monitoring while I am documenting on video. I'm one that's revealing it, and I'm going to prosecute you for it, and then I'm also going to prosecute and show how you are a threat to the public, which is understanding this is an entire people. As unprecedented as it is, there's no coincidence with regard to being in that sort of environment. I'm capturing light shows inside of Starbucks in Montclair, and then I'm capturing light shows. I've already documented this inside of your random. There's no randomness there. It's the same entity. It's the people of the state. In addition to that, you are looking at their conduct as though they're oblivious, like that's normal. It's not. Even if I wasn't documenting the P.O.C. and I noticed that light, that's why I started documenting, because that's absolutely weird. And then you look at their outward conduct. Now, let me be clear, but for documentation, you are, again, silenced and defamed, blamed, if you will. while they are psychopaths monitoring you in that light activity, and their demons doing so. 5767 6E3, and their sex offenders doing so as well. All of those demons in that directed light, their shadows in front of them, their shadows behind them, crisscrossing behind them. The entity was also flashing light all over the place, just like you saw inside of Starbucks in Montclair yesterday, just like you saw in the parking garage in Rancho Cucamonga the day before that. Okay. And just as you've seen inside of this McDonald's, which I've already documented, and what was also occurring, what's exactly occurring now, the fake sun moving from 80 East Foothill Boulevard over my head to being right over the venue that I'm inside of, which is the McDonald's, and no sunlight is bending downwards and creating light shows inside of the building. It's not bending in through the drive-through window as you're opening and closing. The fake sun is over the building. That's impossible light. It's directed light. They're all monitoring. They're all demons in their element, and then they all just are there acting as though it is a non-occurrence, as though it's not happening. This is the conduct of psychopaths. It is not in any way suggesting innocence, which is supposed to be their form. VENTURI. You're witnessing what is, this is a sick people, and that's going to be used against them, and necessarily so. That's going to be used against them. That's the heights of malice, and this is speaking to what is an entire system, which is also what is you gather when you're using a whole fake sun. That's an entire system. That's speaking to a massive system. All right. That's speaking to many, many, many minions. Okay. Demon possession is a very common thing. That's why you have a whole demonic environment. That's why you're lied to about the literally the environment that surrounds you. And that's necessarily lying because this is not the sun that's remaining stationary over Starbucks in Montclair, over the window that I'm sitting by. And it's over the McDonald's today at the same time. No, that's not the sun. 5LWL239, nor does the sun create multiple shadows while you're standing inside. Normal lights, fixtures that are above the ceiling, inside of the building, don't create that light activity. It's also in the bathroom. There's sex offenders engaging in the ability to sexually violate another by the multitudes. 6 MUC 304. That's why the light activity is just present there. You don't buy special light bulbs like that. That's directed light. It is speaking to what are the demon possessed who are sexually violating. 6R53928. License BN05F13, paper. 8PKJ277, CC21E07. It's 9:17 a.m. I think I made 8N81192 because I did not read that one, and 5DCW353. 5X1G820, I believe. 5MXG180. And it's 9:18 a.m. This is P.O.C. 5T83754. Um, 8XZD005 is engaging in surveillance in the parking lot. They're maintaining presence as I walk out. The entity leaves the environment over me, and minions engage in what is creating that environment as well with the directed light conduct and audible activity creation, and also just engaging in surveillance, maintaining presence all around. Sitting in their vehicles is how you do that in a parking lot. AWDL 826. Upland Village, monitoring. Okay, anchored by what is Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, the 99-cent store, documented the entity. I've already documented this. The fake sun is over my head at that venue, not only at the same time that I've been at the McDonald's, which is impossible. Okay, the light source that's over the center of my head, directly over the McDonald's, is not over the 99-cent store across the street at the same time, which I've literally documented that. JB Hunt crossing path. But nonetheless, this is my documentation of what is P.O.C. And as I captured that video, both of those videos, that is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. This is the perpetual sex offender that's engaging in interstate stalking. License 7376183. XPL490. 4YPA072. 1604299, California exempt. License 8LMC599, 7UYV746, 7LUU750, 5MRB020, 70317W1, 36283U2, 8XUY445, 7JQM485, 48304W2, 8TAB648, 2MZM831, 6MVK247, 8RWP480, 8WXC230. This is also how you're understanding what is, again, demon possession and no form for what is this directed light conduct. There's no light activity that's going to occur when you're driving under the sun. When you're just driving a car, 6VXU112. And it's also not occurring while the sun is over the Starbucks in Montclair, California. 34231N1, 6WWU155, 54112Z1. These are all demons. The demon possessed engage in the ability to manifest light. It is the presence of Satan. That is Satan that is doing that. Satan is present via people. Satan is a spirit. Satan possesses people. That is the ability to engage in this impossible light activity, denoting your condition, you're a demon, and you're stalking. 8WOR768, 6YLV565, license 6LDX813. 57641H1, 8BES748, 8XSC709, 7JWR962, 7FJX602. Every single last one of them. White, black, Asian, old, okay, liver spots, wrinkles, triple chins, and young, okay, little skinny white boy. The same demon possession, all of them engage in the identical conduct, which is impossible to occur even if I did not have complete documentation showing what is literally a light source. That's a scientific fact as to not being the sun that's remaining over me. This is the same location where, again, I'm capturing this fake sun. This location that I capture at 9 o'clock, this is where I arrived, as I pointed out, walking through the U.S. Bank parking lot. This is the same location. It's right next to that U.S. Bank. I came from Farmer Boys the Sunday before last. Yesterday was Sunday, so I'm talking about the Sunday before last. She drives on Foothill Boulevard to the U.S. Bank. The fake sun is over my head while she goes into the drive-thru. I'm at this same location at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, do you know where the fake sun's going to be today? Over the Upland Public Library. Okay, and I've documented what is already the following with the light source. So you're talking about what is, first of all, even absent my complete documentation of what is clearly stalking, which is demonic. The people of the state, 6XUA195, crossing path with directed light, that's a demon that is stalking with light. That is relevant to what is criminal monitoring. The demon possessed are engaging in what is state surveillance with the government. All right, so you're talking about what is keeping a whole fake sun. All right, this is a scientific impossibility that this is in the sun. Even absent that, common sense dictates this is not sunlight that's bouncing off of asphalts and reaching to the heights of buildings. As I've shown in video documentation, I don't have to rely on just my ability to articulate what this light is doing. I've shown it inside of buildings. I've shown it outside while they're driving by. That's not sunlight. All right, and that's an impossible occurrence while you're just driving under the sun, while you want to appear as though you're normal. That's where you're also understanding there's so much that's being revealed while they engage in the pattern of conduct, because then they also engage in conduct as though they're unaware of what's going on. It's just a normal day. I love my baby. I love my kids. We're just holding hands outside. Everything is normal. I don't even know anything about this. What she's talking about, I'm oblivious to her presence. This is everything that they're suggesting by their conduct. While absolutely impossible activity is underway. It is absolutely demented. There's nothing suggesting innocence, nothing suggesting normalcy about the people of the state's conduct. It is absolutely impossible light. I'm not the only one that's seeing it. That's why you also document, because Satan is a liar. And that's exactly what demons' position would be. You cannot deny evidence of it. And so you're talking about what is Satan faced with? Just acting like it's not there. Just act like it's not there, because it's not an issue of what is one word against another, and that is nothing other than a liar. Okay, because that's exactly what it is. The targeted individual is telling the truth about what they are surrounded with, which is that which is impossible to occur. That's not possibly the sun that's remaining over your head. That's not sunlight that's occurring while you're inside of buildings, like I've documented, while you're walking outside and you're just driving by, but then you want to have a straight face with holding hands with your kids or your romantic interest, whatever that demon is, whatever those demons are to each other, and as though they're normal, and they're not. They're not. It's entirely sick. 8DGX917, and that's not a coincidence while they engage in that conduct in that perpetually present environment. That environment is everywhere, and that ongoing outward appearance as though you're normal is everywhere as well. Okay? That's a system. That is a system. This is an entity, a demon-possessed one. This is Satan that's using a people, that's using the government, and I'm interrupting it. Let me show you what's absolutely normal. Absolutely abnormal. Not only their conduct, contrary to what they are thinking, because that's necessarily what you thought. You thought that you were going to be able to perpetuate a lie, and that a whole bunch of liars together will create the reality and literally trump what is the allegations of the targeted individual. This is the whole form of the system. This is what you thought. All right. And you're talking about this is what the intention is. This is literally the pattern of conduct. And that's all that they do is lie. They do the same thing with defamation. Everybody lies and says that you're crazy. Literally, even those that work in the medical profession, these are the demon possessed that Satan has positioned to facilitate the pattern of conduct by the state. This is how you are kidnapped. This is how you have a whole paper trail created, which is literally a lie, making it up. And a whole bunch of people lying together creates the reality in their alternate universe. Where the entity is, again, relying on its own credibility. Oh, you're credible because there's nothing suggesting that you are absolutely illegitimate and everything about you is corrupt. That's why. That's what documentation is presenting. And the entity that is prosecuted, documented, engaging in the P.O.C, that prima facie case, oh no, you're stripped of all of that. The government doesn't have the authority. It does not have that legitimacy. It cannot state what it is and just state that it is that because it's the government. That's what the government relies on. Literally, the fact that it's the government and the government says so. The government's a criminal and a sex offender and a stalker, and that's a matter of documentation. And it is referred to as the system of federal group stalking and monitoring, and you don't have any of that. None of that. None of it whatsoever. 5LOH464, and it is to the degree of even down to the outward conduct of the people of the state. And let me be clear, even their outward conduct is so unpersuasive because the truth is always revealed, first of all, through the abnormal environment that they're in, trying to maintain this sense of normalcy. And you can't maintain that. This is a demon. This is malice. Second of all, you're understanding what is, how many are engaging in what is an absolute focus on me while they also want to maintain this outward appearance. At the same time, it's like, did you forget, Satan, what your role is? You're supposed to be acting as though you're oblivious to my presence, that I'm so unimportant, that I'm not anywhere on your radar, that you're totally unaware of me, but yet I'm documenting what is absolute focus contrary to what their role is supposed to be. They've demonstrated in every way. I've shown you what is unfounded hostility. I've shown you what is necessarily focus on me. All right, and that's just the ability to analyze and pay attention to what they're saying contrary to what they want to act. Your conduct betrays you, Satan. 7PTZ616, 8NGL556. All right, they want to portray themselves as one way, and it is them, it is they, it is a system. You're dealing with what is the demon possessed. It's demonic activity, and they're bad liars. Okay, and so it's just taking one with the equipment. That is myself. So let me do you a favor and cut through all the BS, because that's what it is. It's a whole bunch of BS, and you're talking about a whole bunch of liars that are under the false assumption that all of them lying together will be the force necessary in order to avoid justice, in order to conceal what is a matter of an egregious criminal act by a government and a people. 4JOU 971, 8HBE 374, and it's 9:29 a.m. So that's literally what they're relying on. They all lie together, and you can lie all you want, like I said. Because I'm going to, in every way, literally choke the life out of Satan and all of it and reveal. I'm not just going to prosecute you and drag you. I'm going to reveal all of your tactics, everything that Satan is doing, everything that the ways in which Satan conducts itself, you need to be aware of. Everything about that operation is to be fully revealed. Every single last method, every tactic, all right, everything employed. That is also what I am focused on doing, and it is serving that purpose of teaching about the reality of demonic activity, and it's not based on any of the false premises that you are necessarily deceived by. All right, you think a demon-possessed person looks like a witch, wears a pointy black hat, or has red horns, or is just necessarily mean to you, or is somebody that is asserted as some sort of enemy of yours. That's not the case. A demon-possessed person may very well be one who you are dating, okay, in your personal life. You might even refer to them as your best friend. They may be your professor in college. They may be the ones that you're surrounded by in at work, okay? Those who are not necessarily mean to you, perhaps engage frenemy type of conduct, because the demon-possessed, they engage in what are acts. You have to maintain presence in one's life in order to affect them. So you're talking about what is not overt aggression, what's not overt hostility. You're talking about what is remaining close to your enemy. And let me be clear, the demon-possessed are enemies of those that are not of that camp. I don't serve Satan. And so let me be clear. This is, we are on literally opposite sides of eternity. Okay. This is darkness versus what is light. And that's just the way that it is. That's nothing that you can change. There are those that walk in darkness, and that's a matter of, that's even down to children. There are those that there is no, contrary to what you've been told. No, there's no vote. There's no election of what team you're going to be on. There are those that are not in any way ever in the light, ever at all. Okay, so they are damned from the beginning. And this is a matter of, I'm not going to get into preaching or anything like that, but like I said, there is an omnipotent God, and he knows far more than any of us. He knows the hearts, he knows the depths of the hearts. And there are those, regardless of how they live their life, regardless of how they may deceive themselves and or each other, there are those that are not qualified, if you will, and that is also evidenced by the reality of how they are living their life, what it is that they do, and that's a matter of the evidence of what you genuinely are as well. And like I said, the omnipotent God knows the truth. All right, man is concerned about deceiving each other. You can't deceive God, and that is a matter of what is the election of that omnipotent God. And so there is only one, and you're talking about what are minions that congregate in church. This is what I mean by deceiving yourselves, deceiving each other. You serve Satan and you're sitting up in churches every week. You're not deceiving anybody else, and you're going straight to hell. That's just a matter of truth, whether you like to hear it or not. They describe people like myself that are telling the truth. And I'm speaking the reality of demon possession, meaning you are a puppet of Satan. Satan is real. Satan is using people. Satan's present through the environment. Satan's reality is not based on how nice a demon possessed person is to you. Okay, it's based on what is their condition, and their condition you are also capable of knowing, even if you do not have a discerning spirit. All right, which is a gift from the omnipotent God, by the way. So let me be clear. The matter of what is initially discernment, I've revealed to you. Oh, anyone can know it. This is the times that we're at. It's being revealed what needs to be known, obviously, because it's been told to me, and all I'm doing is spreading what I know. And it's not just a matter of some unique knowledge that nobody else can know. No. This is a scientific fact that we can all agree on. So like I said, it's broken down, and anybody speaking some alleged truth, some mystery with regard to some secret that they have in life, well, if that's the case, then you'll be able to test that knowledge. You'll be able to test that alleged word. And what I'm showing to you is something that you cannot, no demon-possessed person and no one claiming to be of, not of that condition, in other words, not a puppet of Satan, can deny it. All right, and we can agree on what are facts. Everyone, we don't even have to talk about religion. That's something everybody can agree on. The atheist and the Baptist. I'm not into titles, okay? Because you are what you do, and that's a matter of God knows the depths of your heart. So I'm not concerned. I don't worry about that, because what minions are, they always do. They can't hide it. And guess what? You don't even have to say a word. You don't have to do anything. The light source, the directed light conduct. This is speaking to your condition. Satan cannot act. Satan's going to be what it is, all right? And it is demented. So like I said, you have what is the ability to know. Anyone can know. And this is knowledge with regard to the environment that surrounds. And this is a matter of time with regard to literally knowledge that is, I would say knowledge that is being shared for everyone to know. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know what the reason is. But for whatever purposes, everyone is capable of knowing what is clearly necessary to be known at this time where we're at in the world and also in this country. And that is that which is formerly a matter of discernment, spiritual discernment, which is a spiritual gift. And those that are lying about spirit, you have what are minions of Satan talking about, oh, that's a demon. And so like I said, you can always test the spirits and you know them, and also when they are lying. But like I said, everything that I have spoken to, I initially spoke of as a matter of knowledge, which, yes, I discerned the fact that I was surrounded by evil. And not only the fact that they were demons, it's relevant what they were doing. I didn't know what was the purpose of they're doing some really weird stuff. And they're doing it everywhere that I'm going. It's speaking to what is demonic. It started with where I was working. And then as I start documenting what it is that people are doing, regardless of that, I set aside the fact that I know that this is demonic. I'm just documenting it. And the more that I documented it, the more aggressive these demons became. And as they engage in that, when you engage in anything that you're doing, you're always giving up your hand. You're giving up information. 5TGW565, 8LMC599. Those are demons that are touching. And so the documentation, which again, the demon possessed, this obsessed entity is literally observing what I'm writing about, what I'm capturing on my phones, all right, what I'm taking note of, all right, what I am paying attention to. They're aware of that, and they're fearful of it, okay? They know exactly what my condition is, and it's not them. I'm not of Satan's camp, all right? So yes, this is a threat that I do pose, and you see that. This is not me just stating that. When I'm capturing hundreds of videos of an entity stalking me by helicopter, let me translate that for you. That is, yes, prosecuted as terrorism. I'm going to prosecute 8ZCV329, but let me tell you something. This is Satan that is terrified of me. You're fearful of me because of what I know and because what I'm going to do with regard to binding what Satan is doing in this land, okay? So that is on the flip side. Yes, this is Satan that is very fearful and hostile while I'm doing what it is that I was called to do. But second of all, it's going to be prosecuted because the ordinary targeted individual is subject to terrorism with this demonic light that they are following you and touching you with. All right, with the entity that is stalking you, whole demon-possessed officers of the law, police officers, do you understand the levels of terrorism there? They're bearing weapons and they're stalking you. All right, they're bearing weapons and engaging in the ability to literally make up criminal charges, kidnap you, while they're stalking you. All right, and they're doing so while they literally have the Satan of spirit on them. There's so many levels there that is legally relevant. 8RZY017, 8VHK009, 57878E2. And all of that I've documented. 8ENP441. All right, so this is not just stating it. I literally documented it. 6VNT872. It's currently 9:37 a.m. So you have what is revealing information, which is what I'm doing. Documentation is serving to inform the masses about what is clearly known, necessary to be known, and not to be maintained as any sort of concealed knowledge. And I don't think that spiritual discernment is a matter of necessarily concealed knowledge. It's just that it's a spiritual gift that is given by the omnipotent God. Those that are given that, it's for a purpose. It's serving a purpose. And it's going to, in doing that, it's also serving that omnipotent God. That is and let me be clear, Satan is not a God. Satan is not the equal opposite of God. Satan is a created being. Satan is exercising control over this physical world. Let me be clear, that is not an act of God. Contrary to what actually is referred to in the law, this is not an act of God. You're talking about what is a created being who wants to be a God, who exercises much influence and control over people through his spirit. That's called demon possession. He is not the equal opposite of God whatsoever. There is only one omnipotent God. He does give the spiritual gift of what is discernment, and that is the ability of one that truly has that gift to know the spiritual condition of another, to know the wicked motives of another, and you don't even have to know them. It is something that is spiritually discerned. And so with that, this is knowledge that I have, right? This is where I'm coming from. But I also know as a practitioner of the law that you can't prosecute with that. So just because I know that, and that's what I know, just because you know that, which I do, that's not enough to prosecute. And so this is a combination of that skill set. Okay, the ability to spiritually discern, but also to prosecute in court what is of the demonic. And this is what I've been stating from the beginning. It's not impervious to prosecution. It's not even that which is in any way concealed to any ordinary observer who does not have spiritual discernment. You can see that directed light. You can see this light source directly over my head. Let me go to Los Angeles County and I'll stay over there for some hours at the same time that I was here. And let me show you what is not possibly the sun. And we can all sit down at a table and agree. You cannot disregard what are facts, scientific facts. So like I said, this has nothing to do with having to be some unique, esoteric, some biased conversation that relies on your conceding to spirit. No. This is factual information. Yes, it is rooted in revealing to you what is demonic for your own good, because you need to know the times that we're in. License B544MO. But this is revealing information that anyone is capable of knowing, and that's the reality when it comes from the omnipotent God. You are able to test that information, and it is that which serves the masses. It serves the good, and it's not some secret message that only certain people are able to understand or comprehend. That's not how God works, and that's not a true message from the omnipotent God. It's not. And what I'm documenting, what I'm revealing to you, what I am revealing, which is a matter of the operation of Satan, which is engaging in what shall be prosecuted as criminal, because that's what it is. You're talking about what is any person is able to see it for your own eyes. I'm not putting my opinion on it. I'm capturing it for you. Look at this mess. Look at it, because you see it just like I see it. All right, so you can, I'm not talking about some opinion of some biased minion, because the truth is what it is and it speaks for itself, okay? These minions over here, American Medical Response, are monitoring vehicle 02278 39844C3. And it's 9:40 a.m. They're going to federal prison, so I'm not going to be distracted by that. It is currently 9:40, and they're under the fake sun at 11th Street and Euclid Avenue. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, I did capture video of those demons of American Medical Response. Group stalking at the intersection of 11th Street and Euclid, where there is no sun that's possible being over me at this intersection in Upland, California, while it's remaining over me, hovering over the window in Montclair, California, where it remains until after 12:08 p.m., which is a matter of objective evidence. And not only that, sunlight is not creating this sort of light on the ground while you're driving a vehicle under what is also not possibly the sun while it's hovering over the window. That's not hovering over the intersection in Upland, California, and also maintaining central presence over my head while I'm facing the direction east on Euclid Avenue, which runs north and south in the city of Upland, while I'm sitting in Montclair at the Starbucks, and that fake sun is on the east side of that window directly above my head, where I remain inside of that cafe at the same seat until after 12:08, when I got up and captured video of the fake sun over me at the same intersection where I remained the week prior until after 6 p.m. All right, so all of that is what I captured on video. That's what you're cognizant of. And not only that, as I remain in Upland, California, the entity keeping the fake sun over me, and while I'm already at the Upland Public Library, while I am actually still remaining from the venue that I came from, this is all documentation that remains. 9:48 a.m. over my head in the parking lot of Upland, California. While I am already in the city of Fontana, while I'm on public transportation en route to the city of Fontana, all right, while I am en route to what is, and already in the city of Chino, okay, this is all the evidence that is coexisting, revealing the condition of not only stalkers, those are psychopaths that are stalking you and they want to look the opposite direction like they're doing something else. That's a freak weirdo. Those are puppets of Satan. In American Medical Response, they are subject to what is federal prison. Those two, the entity uses minions of that sort that are stalking on day and night, just like I captured in video right now. Psychopaths that are literally just, you need to get this picture in your mind because that's what they're doing. Psychopaths that are engaged in obsessive stalking. If I make some sort of breathing variation, something, if I move my finger in my pocket, this is how closely demons are aware of what I'm doing. And that's also the sex offender, because they're monitoring and aware of an ongoing knowledge of what's going on while your panties are down. That's a creepy sex offender that's stalking you. And they are immediately sounding sirens, and they're not going anywhere. You're going to you're summoned to the house of a third party that's monitoring with you, that are demons alike. All right, so like I said, I captured this video right now at 9:40 a.m. The fake sun is right over my head in Upland, California. And they're also looking at what is the directed light. They're monitoring with the people of the state. And that's exactly what those demons are doing when they're creating light and sounding sirens, engaging in demonic activity. They're participating in it and facilitating it, and it's serving that criminal system. And they also do so when I'm speaking to, again, the reality of what is the truth with regard to any so-called message that is actually coming from the omnipotent God. There's only one, and Satan is not any equal or opposite to that. This is why you are capable of one that God has called to do, is able to speak the truth, and anybody, you don't have to conform to any sort of religion or have some special affiliation in order to get some secret message. That's not how God works, and that's not any message that's actually coming from the true omnipotent God. And it's going to serve everyone. It's informative to everyone, and we can all sit down at a table and agree on facts, and that's a fact that's not the sun that's hovering over me through the window, the east side of the Starbucks in Montclair, California at Ramona Boulevard, and also directly over my head as I capture these demons at the intersection of 11th and Euclid Avenue. Well, it's squarely above my head. Where I am standing is not in Montclair, and it's not over the Starbucks roof of that building. I would never be able to see that. Those are two separate and distinct and impossible to coexist at the same time. Hence, the conduct of stalking with a light source, which is not the sun. And that's a matter of a scientific fact that anybody is capable of observing, witnessing for yourself. This is not a matter of my opinion and I'm pushing it on you. I document it so you can see it for yourself. I like to put the videos right next to each other. Look at what the entity was doing at this specific time at this location, and then look what they were doing at this same time in a different location. Remember where I was at for this duration of time, and look at what the entity is doing here at this time. That's revealing what is stalking with the light source, speaking to what is group stalking, which is demonic. They're all demons doing that. DRMNCAM. And that's exactly what I'm speaking about. While, again, American Medical Response would like to be a distraction. And what am I dealing with? All I'm doing is naming American Medical Response, who are puppets of Satan. All right, it's nothing other than a means of identification of puppets of Satan. It's a demon-possessed population. And that's exactly what I'm capturing. Satan would like to be a distraction when I'm speaking the truth. It's the same thing the entity does with helicopter as I am speaking the truth. You've witnessed that before, okay? Plenty of times. So like I said, you have the ability to witness for yourself what anyone is capable of witnessing, which I've documented, and it is serving for what is a prosecution. It is serving for what is understanding demonic activity, which does its place of origin is that which is a matter of discernment. But you're talking about what is now at these times for whatever reason. It's not my job to give that reason. I don't know that reason. I am not the omnipotent God, but I am one that is speaking to what starts off with a matter of what is spiritual discernment, and then also knowing that it is not enough to discern. This is literally what Satan is relying on, that you speak on what you can't possibly know in the natural, and then label you as some a paranoid schizophrenic, or label you as somebody that's hallucinating. This is literally what Satan is engaging in, and this is absolutely twisted. Let me translate that for you even further. Satan is a liar that is labeling what is spiritual discernment as mental illness. That's literally what Satan is doing. This is the P.O.C. All right, but like I said, at the out front, I already knew that you, just being one that practices law, I love rules, and I also am speaking to what is the ability to enforce my rights, because there's no way that I've been given this knowledge of what you're doing, and it's serving for no purpose. I'm going to prosecute you, and not only that, I'm going to make it such that any American citizen, whether you went to law school or not, even if you didn't get an associate's degree, maybe you didn't even graduate high school, maybe you have some sort of physical handicap. It doesn't matter what your condition is. You can enforce your rights, and that's what I'm doing. And this is the entity that is engaging in what is demonic at its core. Yes, I'm going to reveal that. Air out all the secrets of Satan. It has no power where it is fully revealed. And second of all, and then I'm going to prosecute you because it's criminal what they're doing. You can literally point to law. What they're doing is illegal. All right. And they're doing it through the provisions of Satan itself. All right. And they are all of that condition, demons. And they also demonstrate everything that I'm stating. I have substantiated with evidence, the directed light. It's a scientific fact that that's not sunlight that's occurring while you're driving your car under what you would like to be called the sun. And I'll get to that, which I did get to that with regard to that's not even the sun. Broken down this whole demonic system. I've broken it down every aspect of it. You're stalking with a light source. You're stalking with directed light. Two distinct methods of stalking with light, which is what the demon possessed engage in. All right. But like I said, this is the ability to speak about to the masses, and that anybody of any, it doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter what you claim to believe in spiritually, it really doesn't matter. You're talking about what is the environment that you're in, anybody is able to observe it. It's an impossibility. Even as you look at my documentation where the entity's keeping a fake sun on the street over me all day long, you know that that's not the sun over you wherever you're at, because there's only one sun and it's impossible. 8LGV 587. And that impossibility, that's revealing to you what is ongoing, a demonic environment. Satan is not a god. He is not the equal opposite of a god, being able to control the physical environment that surrounds us. He's a created being with limited time and limited abilities. Okay? One of his abilities, though, is he is capable, Satan is a spirit, a demonic entity, and he is capable of possessing individuals, and that's what's going on in the state of California while they're engaging in criminal conduct, which are going to be prosecuted for. And all of their secrets exposed in doing so. It is 9:51 a.m. and I remain at this intersection of 11th and Euclid Avenue, where I captured this fake sun that remains here stationary over me. And you're going to recall again my documentation the day before yesterday, where I am coming from Upland, and then I go to Rancho Cucamonga. I go to the Panera Bread, where I'm reminding you where the fake sun is. That's where I'm at. Panera Bread, where I'm capturing the light source over me, and then yesterday where I'm inside of the Starbucks in Montclair, California, while the entity is keeping the fake sun over the same exact intersection where I am, and then moving it as I move. This is the presence of Satan, okay? 7FJY840, a demon. 7YUA388, and they're not just demons, they're going to be prosecuted for being for terrorists. That's what the demon possessed are going to be prosecuted for, literally your condition used against you while you're engaging in a criminal system with the state. 6BXL759, 7DRX652. And they have evidenced their own condition while they like to stalk and molest with directed light. That very conduct used against you. Alrighty? License KHANTIE19. This is P.O.C. It is 9:52 a.m. 5MNK335, 7MPF343, 4MMNO22, NAHW542. NL93VO, 8ADE, I can't see that one, 8VSL376, 7CEU524, 5AUY733, 6RIE837, 8JRS223, 8CHR018. And it is 9:53 a.m. 1094382. Let me see, 8, I can't always tell, you just got something. $7KO3254, 8WYV955, 8RSW382, PFT7152 Texas, 8JJT201, 7ZRP914, I believe. It's a black Mustang. SHEPPRD, I believe. A shepherd of Satan. License 3, I can't see that one, you just got some. License 8YMX283, 8SYF, I can't see the rest of it, you just got something. Maybe a lot closer right here. $7KYS 506, I believe, 8GQW005, 5XSU467, 63190S2, 8SQ0, I can't really see that one, 6WZJ050. You can scratch the other one. $5JRB740, 8LVE599, $243GV handicap. It's 9:56 a.m. $5MTN980. I'm laughing to myself because remember, it's because it's pathetic, not because it's funny. The pattern of conduct is not funny. But, I mean, if you really, this is what the entity is doing with the light source, but what can you do? What else can you do but sit there and take it? License 4ZWG396. And they're taking it. You're taking it, and you're going to take it. Don't be deceived what the entity is doing with regard to its defiance. You want to you go ahead, keep stalking in the bathroom. Go right on ahead. They're taking it though. Don't be confused about what's going on right here. All right, Satan is being trampled on. I'm beating the daylights out of it, and you have what is engaging in placing the light source over the Upland Public Library nobody with any reasonable or in remote quantity of intelligence is going to suggest that the sun is over the roof of the Upland Public Library while I'm in Montclair under the roof of Starbucks. 60 LH402. But this is what the entity is doing. 7FOY 526, and that's why I'm laughing. I heart KALY. All right. In other words, yeah, Satan is taking it. 7FSH106. Don't be confused about what I'm documenting. Yeah, Satan already lost. 7928083. 8YDJ739, 7YGP749, 8RJF966. And again, this is not the only pathetic display of what is being defeated. 8EVC228, JST41DY, 7WLN204, 6XKM847. It is equally ridiculous while the entity places a fake sun over the roof of the Upland Public Library when it's remaining in alignment with the entrance all day of the Open Feminine Community Library, which is documentation. I have documented the entity keeping a fake sun over this third-party group stalker that I'm documenting right now, Walmart, over the Walmart all day long. All day. Upon my arrival around 10, 11-ish until after 6 p.m. That's all day, over the building of the Walmart. It is equally ridiculous while the entity at any time of day engaging in that. Oh, I guess it's remaining all day long over all of these venues at the same time. It's over the roof in Fontana, over the entrance, aiming light into the depths as though that sunlight that you can see on the inside behind the entrance doors of the Fontana Lewis Library. Oh yeah, and it's also over the roof of the Upland Public Library. You can see it directly above my head inside of that building. And it's also hovering over while I'm under the roof of the Starbucks in Montclair, California. While at the same time, it's remaining directly over me, isn't it? While I'm in Pomona, California, right over my head, huh? Following through the window while I'm on the bus en route to those venues. 56300Y2, right? Okay, that's why you just document. That's why you document. And this is speaking to what is no formidable adversary whatsoever. And that which is insurmountable, which is evidence. It's 10 o'clock. Alrighty, showing you the fake sun. Thing that I was just laughing about. The light source, which is right over my head, which is the case over the Starbucks where it's on the east side of that window. You see that light activity, the flashing light, first of all, not sunlight, and also not sunlight while the entity is keeping that light source supposedly on the east side of that Starbucks. And this is the ongoing pattern of conduct while it is keeping that light source, for example, over the directly over my head over the Montclair Transit Center. It's not on the east side of any Starbucks on Ramona and Holt Boulevard, which is supposed to be the form for what you see, what you're supposed to connect with in your own mind. Oh, that's sunlight because that's the sun. Actually, no, that's not the sun, and that's not possibly the sun that will be over this building where I don't even arrive until after 2:22 p.m. last Sunday, April 17, 2022. But second of all, that's also not the sun while I remain, for example, in Fontana, California, which I documented before I went to Starbucks. This is supposedly the sun, maintaining what would be a predictable and consistent pattern of where it's at, where it's visible to be, how it's going to be visible at a different location comparable to where I'm showing you in its zenith at that. It's in its zenith everywhere that I'm going, whatever county that I'm in, for however long that I'm there. Remaining for the duration of the day on literally at the same address, which I've also documented. So anyway, that's the light source that is over the Upland City Hall, and not quite over the Upland Public Library because I haven't made it there yet. And you're looking at what is also what is not. While it's directly over the Upland City Hall, while I'm standing in front of the Upland City Hall, it is not over any Panera Bread. I'm inside of Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga, and that light source is directly over my head while I'm looking out the window, and I do that on purpose so you can see how precise and how much of a stalker the entity is with a light source, and that's also showing the stalker that are the people of the state. And those stalkers engage in what is stalking you while hoping that you're deceived by what is they're not looking at me, they're looking the opposite direction, they're talking to somebody else, they're holding children, they're engaging in talking on the phone, they're engaged in some activity. This is what the people of the state rely on. Superficiality, and that which is in no way a distraction, and it's also not persuasive. And this is also speaking to what is also legally irrelevant. When you're in relevant position, you will be documented, you will be prosecuted, and it will be a clinical process. All right, so with regard to the entity that is stalking on behalf of the government, that light source is not aiming onto me. That's not possibly the sun, in other words. while I'm inside of Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga at 10 o'clock in the morning. The light source is aimed directly on me while I'm inside of that Panera Bread at 8055 Haven Boulevard. I'm inside of the Starbucks yesterday, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, that light source remains directly over my head while I'm inside of that Starbucks, where I remained until after 12 o'clock yesterday. In that same manner, over my head while I'm inside of the building, and that is not inside of the building of the Upland Public Library, not under that roof, not visible to be seen, but this is what the entity is doing, and that's also how you are capable of easily capturing what is federal group stalking and monitoring, because that's what the system is. Group stalking is a matter of maintaining group presence all around, while you're being monitored by the government and the people of the state who are demons. This is a demon-possessed entity. They engage in demonic tactics. It's demon possession that's underway, and the demon-possessed are engaging in stalking you while they would like to maintain what is the outward appearance of normalcy, normal society, everyday life, and it is everything but that. This is the capital of superficiality, by the way, California. And this is a very sick people, and this is a sick system which is surrounded with the evidence of that very allegation of group stalking, and that's what it is. That's why you have what is glaring evidence of it. The purpose, so let me break this down for you. What is glaring, that this is not it's a scientific fact that that's not the sun, and it's not possibly the sun, and also what follows, that's not even sunlight, as I'm documenting while they're group stalking. That also what else follows? That's not sunlight that fills the inside of the venues where I'm at, where the light source that's not possibly the sun is over me. You're understanding the whole system and as it's connected. And they're relying on this entire environment while they're present, and intentionally so, while this entire cartoon environment follows you around, remains over you, which is the act of Satan itself. All right. It is entirely demented. It is at the highest level of malice by a people and a government. And all of which you are supposed to remain ignorant of, and ignorant of the fact that the light source, which you would refer to as the sun, is not that sun by definition, by those scientific facts that surround it, the conduct of that sun, and what that sun does with regard to time of year, time of day, the ongoing movement of the sun, and what will be possible with regard to what is also not the isolation of the sun and over any person, over any location. It's supposedly a star that's engaged in ongoing movement. My documentation is showing absolutely none of that. What is impossible to be the case is speaking to what is a reference to the demonic, and this is entirely demonic, and it's serving that criminal system. And that's what group stalking is. All right, so group stalking is also revealing what is the condition of those engaging in it, and it is nothing other than it is exclusive. It is the system of those that are serving Satan, and this is revealing the times that we are in, and it is also revealing the ability to know that. And this is apparently, and this is what I mean, what I was speaking of earlier. This is for such a time as this. It is also apparently now at this point where we're at in history. It is a matter of knowledge for everyone to know, to be capable of knowing what the condition of those who seek to conceal that. And they can't conceal it anymore, because you know it directly by the environment. You know it directly by the environment that you're going to pay attention to, directed light. You pay attention to the details. It's impossible light activity. It's the mark of demon possession. It's the mark of that criminal system that you're subject to. Remember, it's not just the fact that they're demon possessed. Where that conduct is underway, they're placing you under surveillance, and they're doing it on behalf of a government. That's a whole system that you're subject to. And it's unlawful under federal law, and you can enforce your rights. It's currently 10:09 a.m. This is P.O.C. entering State Facilitating Venue, Upland Public Library at 450 North Euclid Avenue. All right, this is a demon that's stalking in the bathroom. This is the people of the state, and it is also representing the state of California. And before this demon enters into the bathroom, there's a loud boom, and it's occurring with simultaneity to my reaching over to grab something while I'm inside of the bathroom stall. This is speaking to the stalking with activity while I am in the private space. I'm subject to surveillance, and these are also demons. That's entirely creepy. This is terrorism, it's sexual violence, and demonic activity, all of the above, while federal stalking is underway in the bathroom, where I am documenting Tracy Randolph and Katie and the rest of these minions at Upland Public Library stalking in a bathroom, and I will be prosecuting them as the sex offenders that they are. P.O.C. It's 6:33 p.m. That's activity creation in the bathroom. P.O.C. This demon-possessed freak is in the bathroom, focused on me while walking around in this bathroom. That's the reality. What these demons are always doing when I show you them stalking with directed light, pacing all around. These sex offenders then enter the bathroom, and this minion is sitting at a stand now, exiting the bathroom stall, using the water, using the hand dryer, and focused on me. That's what Satan is doing through these minions who come in a bathroom to sexually violate and surveil. It's 6:35 p.m. I want you to listen to activity creation. I'm going to prosecute them. That is crossing path, 6:35 p.m. All right, this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. And like I stated, as I show you on video, as the entity is stalking by helicopter, as the entity is stalking by literally psychopaths that are in positions that they have no business in. I'm talking about police, fire, ambulance. They're demons engaging in this very terrorizing conduct. They are freaks of nature as they manifest light, touch all over me with light while they are stalking all together. They are engaging in the conduct of psychopaths corporately while they are entirely focused on me, which is also deduced from their pattern of stalking with light, stalking with noise, while they are outwardly conducting themselves as though they're focused on something else. That's the conduct of a psychopath. It is an unpersuasive outward veneer of what is the demonic pattern of conduct that they are engaging with the state. Those demons are what you are here entering inside of that bathroom, stalking in a bathroom stall. Because that's exactly what they're doing. And as I walk out of the Upland Public Library right now at 6:43 p.m., the entity flying over the Upland Public Library, that's the state of California. That's a demon that is stalking in a bathroom. And you need to be cognizant of that as I'm documenting it. This entity that's stalking me all day and all night, stalking me where it is that I sleep, engaging in these ongoing demonic yelling matches in directed light in the middle of the night, like I documented on video. They're sitting up 24 hours a day, engaging in whatever they can to express what is, first of all, they're monitoring, but they're also hostile demons, sitting around sounding their sirens all night, amplifying the sound of a train all night, not only to monitor, but to harass and terrorize, all right, and to engage in what is their ritualistic, demonic conduct. That's the entity that's entering then into the bathroom, all right? Now, understand the level of terrorism there, and it's also predatory. It's entirely sexually motivated. All right, and that ongoing stalking with activity, that mirroring conduct, the activity that's created with simultaneity to what I'm doing and what you're doing in a bathroom, okay? Dealing with your genitalia, your body being exposed, all right? Listening to, necessarily aware of what you're doing in order to maintain the elements, and that's exactly what they're doing. That obsessive stalking conduct, this demonic light, those minions are in the bathrooms around, stalking all around, and they're all doing it together. And so it is my duty to make sure that you understand the level of invasion, the level of violation by this demonic entity that is monitoring. This is what group stalking is. It's a monitoring system. And they are demons who know what you are doing. And then those demons want to crawl into bathrooms and be around you, stalk, and because that's what you're doing in a bathroom stall. You're stalking. And you need to get that in your mind. Get that picture in your mind. Somebody crouching next to you and all around you, entering in a bathroom stall, looking the opposite direction, doing whatever it is, talking to somebody else, whatever they're doing, and their entire focus is on you. They're stalking you in a bathroom. Okay? That's terrorizing. That is what the government is doing. And yes, I'm going to prosecute. And I'm naming state actors such as Tracy Randolph because she's sitting up in there monitoring as well. Okay? And so is Amazon Prime, who's group stalking right here at the intersection of 9th and Euclid. So is MetroLink, who's creating amplified audible activity. Companies to be prosecuted for sexual violence. The pattern of conduct doesn't take a pause. It's the same criminal system by the government underway. It occurs in bathrooms as well. All right, so that's documentation of the entity engaging in federal stalking in a bathroom. That's the perpetual sex offender. That's the entity that keeps engineered light inside of that Upland Public Library all day long. All right, which is already documented. All right, so it is currently 6:46 p.m. This is P.O.C. And Amazon Prime crossing path at 6:46 p.m. And that's captured in images. They're crossing path in engineered light. The entity, as I have already talked about it, when I remind you when I'm on Route 61, and the entity is keeping the fake sun, 8WGE 890 is the sound of that thirsty demon. And I'll quench that thirst with a prosecution. So anyway, the entity is keeping the fake sun street for street, turn for turn as I'm on Route 61, right? But you're going to remember what the entity is doing with the fake sun, which is keeping it on Euclid Avenue all day long. All right, which is necessarily the case while you're keeping what is directed light that's somehow coming from what's the direction, because the light source, which is supposed to be the sun, is still somewhere in relative position such that light is still being aimed inside of the Upper Public Library, even though it remained in the city east of this location where it's over me at Arrow and Juniper. It's, first of all, nowhere near any roof of Upper Public Library. No light whatsoever is going to appear inside of that venue, nor would it at any time of the day, by the way, while I remain in Rancho Cucamonga. And you have what is a light that's coming as though the light source is west of the roof. You see the vantage point of that directed light as though it's west of that rooftop, which is speaking to, again, this is the asinine, abysmal fail at acting like the sun is rising in the east and setting to the west as it remains over the same building all day. All right, which is exactly the case when you're over the venue at 10 o'clock in the morning and you're still there, which is seen by what are traces of directed light present inside of that venue. But nonetheless, the entity's keeping the fake sun as I'm in Rancho Cucamonga, the parking garage, 5:19 p.m. I did a very random place for a very specific purpose. That is speaking to what is stalking with light. It's another glaring example. And on Cultural Center Drive, which is in Rancho Cucamonga, a city east of this location, there will not be any light whatsoever. And again, it's also not coming from the direction as though the light source that is over the parking garage directly over Cultural Center Drive is somehow on the west side of the Upland Public Library, such that that light activity is appearing from that vantage point. No, it's directly outside of the parking garage inside of Victoria Gardens on Cultural Center Drive. It's right there outside of that garage, and you also saw that impossible light activity while the entity kept that fake sun. But the entity is engaging in what is monitoring documentation, and so this is also speaking to a short-term memory, and that's why you document, because I have years of the entity keeping a fake sun from morning until evening of directed light inside of that library, and there is no reconciling what the state is doing when I'm, for example, in Rancho Cucamonga at that parking garage in Victoria Gardens, and by virtue of that, there is no light source that's creating any light as though the sun is west of the Upland Public Library. And by the way, by it being west of the Upland Public Library, there is no light that's going to appear on the upper portion or any of that. That's the same thing the entity is doing where the fake sun remains over my head, and it's necessarily like the sunlight is, as though sunlight is somehow coming from the sky. This is the sun, but somehow it's bending in through horizontally through the windows and stretching across the floor. No, that's not sunlight. It's going to be shade. The entity does the same thing on vehicles. All right, the entity is doing the same thing with regard to what is, again, maintaining light, but it is equally impossible. And it's also impossible, as I documented much more, all right, much later, okay? And I referenced that on my YouTube channel. Look at what the entity was doing with its fake sun, and this is before daylight savings time, which is also it's only given an hour. All right, so the entity before daylight savings time in February 2022, so this will be, it's about 5:12 p.m., so this will be 6:12 p.m. now, during daylight savings time, and the entity engaging in the pattern, and I have more than what I referenced, but the entity aiming light into the circulation desk. This is what the entity was just doing last week. All right, so I go to Rancho Cucamonga, and somehow you're talking about what is and this is also, you're going to pay attention, it's not the sun under any circumstances, but the entity is also inconsistent with what it's doing with its light source, which is equally impossible. None of that light whatsoever under any circumstances. The actual sun, as it is defined, which I'm showing you, it doesn't actually exist. It's a fake sun. This is a demonic environment. Satan exercises control over the physical environment that we live in. But nonetheless, you are talking about, as I'm referencing the actual sun, I'm talking about what we are told about with regard to science and facts in the galaxy, the universe. That's what I'm talking about when I'm referencing, quote unquote, the actual sun. And what I am showing, what is absolutely a fake sun. All right, minions lying about the environment that we're in. Okay. The light source, first of all, if the sun is over the Upland Public Library, no sunlight, as though the sun still remains present over the roof, beside the roof, is going to result at 5:19 p.m. The entity has been engaged in years of keeping light inside of that Upland Public Library, as though that is the case, though, stalking with light. All right, and in addition to that, while it is in Rancho Cucamonga, as I documented, at the on Cultural Center Drive, 7YPF243 of these demons that are having a field day crossing path. You have what is the entity keeping the fake sun directly outside of that parking garage in Rancho Cucamonga, which is off of Day Creek, the main street. I walked toward Day Creek. Remember, I remained there till after 6:30 p.m. I captured video of that. I captured video of me being on Foothill Boulevard in Rancho Cucamonga outside of Carino's Italiano, which was across the street from the same place I captured video at 10:46 in the morning. None of that is at any location where what the state is doing, as though the sun is on the west side for somehow on some west direction of the Upland Public Library and above the roof, such that any light whatsoever, and as you see this minimal amount on the top portion, the second level of the floor, as though, again, what's the position? That position is speaking to what's supposedly the sun that's west of the Upland Public Library, meaning on the west side of Euclid Avenue necessarily. All right, because otherwise you're talking about, oh, what did you do with your fake sun today? The same thing that I'm documenting, but again, what's the psychopath doing? Stalking with a light source, has nothing else to do other than watch me reveal what's going on, okay? And that's what you're doing. You're stalking with the fake sun, which while you're remaining over me at Carino's Italiano on Foothill Boulevard, which is east of this location, it is not hovering. It never even reached Upland. By the way, I remained in Rancho Cucamonga. I left Upland in the morning. The entity kept that fake sun in alignment with me on Foothill Boulevard. And then when I'm on the bus, which is a matter of documentation, aiming light onto Chase Bank as I got off at 7 after 7 p.m. As though the sun is setting on Foothill Boulevard in perfect alignment with Chase Bank at 31 West Foothill. That's what the entity did. All right. And as the next day, as I go to Fontana and I take a different route, that's Route 61, what did the entity do? It's not in Rancho Cucamonga. It's not in Foothill. It's not on Euclid Avenue at all. The entity, which Euclid Avenue runs north and south, by the way. Like I said, the entity is keeping the fake sun then on what is the Route 61 trail, street for street and turn for turn, aiming light, as is the pattern, which is also speaking to what is mutually impossible. And there is, at no time of day, any provision for what the entity is doing morning, afternoon, and into the evening. All right, and I'm just speaking to what you're looking at in that video. Not only is it documented with the entity doing much, much more with that directed light, but you have, which is speaking to inconsistency with what you're doing. It's all of that is speaking to what is additional relevant evidence as to what is not the sun, daylight savings time or not. But you're talking about what is the direct evidence of what is not the sun. The light source is remaining in what is Rancho Cucamonga, specifically on Foothill Boulevard, that is east of the city of Upland, California. And not only that, that's not in perfect alignment with the roof. It's not simultaneously outside of the parking garage, and it's also on the roof over the roof of the Upland Public Library. And it's not there for the duration of the day. It's not remaining. Well, this is like asinine, ridiculous conduct what the entity is doing with the fake sun. And so that's the significance of that video that I captured. And then the entity is keeping the fake sun as I get on. As I
have your fare ready.
Get out
there.
Let me pull my mask.
Okay, you're
Alrighty. And what I'm on the bus now, so that's what that minor interruption was. I'm on bus 1364, and this is on Euclid Avenue, and so it's proceeding south on Euclid Avenue. And so what I'm stating is, because I'm on Route 66. And then on Route 61, which are not in alignment with each other, and the entity is doing the same thing, keeping in front of the bus in the evening as I come from Rancho Cucamonga, keeping the fake sun in front of the bus, meaning as the bus is driving westbound toward Ontario, the fake sun remains moving westbound in front of the bus. That in order to do that, and you're in perfect alignment such that you're aiming light into the depths of the bus to the back of the bus, which is what I showed you pictures of, the fake sun outside of the Ontario Airport Hotel. That's not over Foothill Boulevard. That is not anywhere over the roof of the Upland Public Library. It's not over the property. You're talking about what is mutually exclusive, and these are the details that you pay attention to. This is why you document, and this is speaking to what is not possibly the sun whatsoever. And then you're taking a step back, because the big picture is these are venues where the entity is present early in the morning. As I take public transportation and I get up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you're talking about at the end of the day, and the light source is still in my path, all right, in perfect alignment with me. As I go, those paths in diametrically opposed directions. So you're talking about what is southbound. The entity is keeping the fake sun going in the direction south. When on Route 66, there's no movement in that manner. You're talking about what is keeping on the bus as the bus drives west on Foothill Boulevard, on Route 61, as the bus drives west on San Bernardino Avenue, and then makes its way to Airport Drive, for example, and then Hope Boulevard, which is an evolution. You're going north-south, you're going south, you're going and west. The entity is moving as the bus, as I've shown you in video, street for street and turn for turn. But then you have what is on Euclid Avenue, which is you're aiming light inside of the Upper Public Library as though that would ever be the case, and you're necessarily on the same street. All of the implications with that, it is asinine. And not only, you're speaking to, again, the fake sun outside of the parking garage at 5:19 p.m. That is in the city, that is west, it's on Cultural Center Drive. The entity is keeping Rancho Cucamonga. First of all, it's not in perfect alignment with the Rancho Cucamonga, with the Upland Public Library. And second of all, you have what is the City of Rancho Cucamonga Cultural Center Drive. The fake sun remains right there over me, street for street, turn for turn. I don't come to the city of Upland. I don't arrive here until 7 o'clock in the evening. I remain, in other words, on the east side of the city of Upland. Okay, and whereas you see at 5:19 p.m. the entity is engaging in conduct as though the light source was over the sun, okay, is over the roof of the Upland Public Library. When I'm in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, when I'm in the city of Montclair, when I am in the city of Fontana. This is what I did yesterday, which has been the case. And then all the entity is doing, I step outside and guess where the fake sun is? Right in alignment as I come to Euclid Avenue. That's not the sun. Getting on the bus at 7:30 in the morning. And then as I go in the direction south, the entity is keeping the fake sun on the side of the bus as it drives south back to Ontario. That's what the entity is doing, and that's what group stalking is. Keeping that light source in alignment, and this is what Satan is doing. Satan is a stalker. So are the people of the state. And these demons are 7THU277, stalking in bathrooms. Okay, and so this is speaking to that environment where they are going into bathrooms. Those are, you need to understand what the demon possessed are. They are the nastiest, creepiest, most disgusting creatures. That slimy, you can think of the nastiest, like gigantic sized insect that you can fathom, because this is what the demon possessed look like in the spirit. You can't see it though. They're despicable. I mean, it's disgusting, like nauseating. They're hideous, okay? But they are that spiritual form. You can't see that. That's a matter of also spiritual discernment. You cannot see that, but you are capable of knowing exactly what they are, which they are seeking to conceal through their conduct, through their presence in the environment, through what they do. It's referred to in Scripture as their deeds. All right, demons stalk with light. Demons are present in that demonic environment, which is not possibly the sun. That's revealing what a demonic environment is, contrary to what you've been told about a demonic environment. Oh, it's creepy. How is it creepy? Because it just looks scary and it's dark all the time, and all these vague things that you see in movies, for example. And no, this use of light, and it's not just any light, it's actually abnormal light, the maintenance of light, the incessant touching, following around with light, the inexplicable presence of light that's just in the middle of the street, and you're looking at what, there's no sun there. Where's this light coming from? This is what I'm showing you everywhere that I go. I'm showing you this in Ontario. I'm showing you this in parking garages. I'm showing you this in the middle of the street. I'm showing you this on buildings. All you're doing is paying attention. I'm showing you this in Rancho Cucamonga, in between the Victoria Gardens housing subdivision. That light that's just sitting there on the sidewalk, it's just sitting there in the middle. It's just patches of directed light. I'm showing you this in grocery stores. All right, that's the demonic. That is the demonic, and the entity is present, meaning demons are present in that environment. You are ignorant about their form, their condition, in other words, and you're ignorant about the environment that you're in. But upon opening your eyes, you are aware of that environment. You see, you witness, you are paying attention. You are aware of this directed light. You are aware of the condition of those that are around you, while that light is hiding in plain sight. Okay, I'm just pointing it out to you. Pay attention. Open your eyes.
Ontario
Wake up.
Civic Center
So anyway, it's currently 7:01 p.m. and the entity keeping directed light all across the buildings, all across the properties, while the bus drives south, and that's stalking with light as well. And so this is what the entity is doing, as though when the entity is keeping a fake sun over the parking garage, and then I'm on Foothill Boulevard, and the entity is keeping fake sun in front of the bus, all right, covering what is Foothill and all the properties that are along Foothill, the roads and the highways, and these demons are stalking in the path with directed light, touching on the bus, filling the bus. Literally, Satan itself, which is through this light, touching the seats next to me as I'm sitting at the back of the bus. All right, this is not sunlight, but you're going to prosecute based on what are the conduct that the entity is engaging in. You're stalking with light that's not the sun, and that's not sunlight. And not only that, you had your fake sun and your fake sunlight, X, Y, and Z here at this time. It's not possible. You're talking about prosecuting them with their own conduct, showing them what they're engaging in.
Stop requested.
So anyway, it's 7:02 p.m. and I am getting off now at what is in Euclid in Ontario. This is P.O.C. This is again bus 1364. No employee number displayed. Thank you. Excuse me.
No courtesy lights.
Alrighty, this is license plate. License plate 1535754. And bus number 1364. And this appears to be a Latino male. He's pretty fair skinned, but I would think he's a Caucasian male with salt and pepper beard on his chin. 6KZY. 6KZY746, I believe. I can't really see that on that color. YP00161. That is E&A Transport Group Incorporated. 68AZ515. 8TYJ204. 7WDV720. And it is 7:03 p.m. 150 East Holt, covered with what is directed light. This is the same venue where the entity is keeping a fake sun above that building in the morning. 8YMZ474 RDF 0. I can't see that one. 7WFG491. 8UVK891. And it is 7:03. All right, license 8UJX636, 6TRA371, 55589Z1, 8YJZ567, 8RKJ157, 8ZTB864, 6E44336, 8XUF641, 6GYY700, 6W83127, 8JQL560, 8CZS889, 8V39A15, paper, 6Z01855, 7DHH916, 8ZPP298, 5HAH438, 7BCW884, 6WKD045, and 7JKY321. And I did just capture video right now at 7:03 p.m. showing you the fake sun that's over the block of Laurel and Holt Boulevard in alignment with me. Directed light covering all of the buildings surrounding, including the county building, San Bernardino County Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt Boulevard. And the entity engaging in what's the significance of that? It's the maintenance of light, touching surfaces with light. This is what Satan does, where I'm showing you on buses, I'm showing you in grocery stores. The objective, I'm showing you on the side of the church, that fake church Living Way, directed light on the wall. This is what the entity does, places engineered light. That's stalking with light. 7VBA206. And so at 7:03 p.m., I'm reminding you of my presence in Fontana, California, where I'm documenting the demons of the Fontana Police Department. And you have what's that fake sun on Seville while I'm at that intersection, and the entity is doing the exact same thing in the city east of Ontario. And the entity is keeping directed light all over the properties where the people of the state live, all over the street, to the brick wall that's in front of me on that Seville. I captured it on video, and I believe it is Sergeant. That's what he wanted to make sure that I stated as I'm documenting that demon. All right, 78368J3. And Sergeant Rice is a demon who was group stalking under the fake sun that's not over Laurel and Holt Boulevard. How do you have that occurring at the same time as I documented it yet again? Because first of all, this is called stalking with light. And second of all, because the entity is keeping a fake sun in front of me, whatever direction that is, in the evening. In the same way that it's keeping the fake sun over my head, whatever direction that I go during the day, okay? And I'm also at the same block where I'm getting on the bus at Route 83 this morning at 8:36 a.m. Getting on that bus at that bus stop as early as 7:30 in the morning. It's 12 hours later. That is not the sun. Getting up at the museum in the morning, it's 12 hours later. That is not the sun. It's the same exact block. Okay, the entity is keeping that light source in alignment with me as I'm coming from the Upland Public Library. The entity aiming directed light inside of that Upland Public Library at 5:19 p.m. And then as I leave that venue, which I've also documented, after 6:30 p.m. in alignment with me inside of that 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, just keeping it in alignment with me as I travel south on the same street as though the sun is remaining, and you would see it on the same street 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours later. That is not the sun. Omnitrans is group stalking, remaining present at that bus stop that I got on at 8:36 in the morning. They're maintaining light activity. That is at 7:11 p.m. right now. And Ontario Police Group stalking crossing path at 7:10 p.m. driving in that directed light that's touching all over the Holt Boulevard, the county building. And I also want to document 6JZN146. What you see in video is directed light that's touching all over the buildings. This is how an entity is stalking with light, surrounding with its engineered light. This is surveillance conduct. And the same way that you're looking inside of McDonald's and they're walking around, they've got shadows all over, they're walking around in engineered light. This is the demonic. This is the objective, to keep surrounded with this engineered light. This is the significance of that. The significance of fake sun, the significance of demons manifesting light, touching you all over with it, the significance of touching all over surfaces surrounding you with this light, okay? And that's what I take pictures of. You're looking at what is engineered light that's all over buildings. You're looking at what is just light that's just appearing out of nowhere. Let me tell you something. You're witnessing Satan as you see this directed light that's just in the middle of the street, patches on the ceilings inside of grocery stores, on ceilings inside of the county building, on ceilings inside of the California DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, inside filling what is the coffee shops. All right, Starbucks, I've documented this, filling the buses, that's Satan. Okay, the entity is literally sitting next to me while it places directed light on bus seats next to me, underneath the seats while I am sitting on the bus. This is impossible light activity. It's a reference to the demonic. And guess who stalks with directed light? The demon possessed. That's the condition of the people of the state. 0311OT1 included. And so you have what are demons that are stalking with light. They are group stalking, and they are also following around while they do so in that environment where directed light remains all over the place. And they are also stalking with light with regard to what is immediately creating activity, including light activity, while you are engaging in any movement and or activity on your communication device. That's what stalking with activity is a reference to. Demons are doing that. Demons are paying very close attention to you while they are psychopaths. Outwardly, their physical persons want to conduct themselves as though they're doing something else. They're concerned with something else, like they're normal, and they're not. And it's also not, it doesn't look normal while they do that. They don't even look normal, and they're supposed to. That's the purpose of them trying to conduct themselves, and it's a fail. I'm showing you everything about what they're doing is entirely demented, and there is no persuasive act whatsoever. And you're talking about what is witnessing the psychopath. Okay, that's witnessing the psychopath. That's witnessing Satan itself. 7NLP 907, 5UGR 254, 8SAE 135, 7ZON 642. And while the entity engages in that very deliberate and failed act, all right, you have what is understanding the system in operation. You're understanding and you're looking at one that is with knowledge, group stalking, present in the path, and maintaining what is a code of conduct. That's what they're engaging in. License plate, RICOJR5, 7CKE007, 5EQG171, 7YCS434, 8UTR381, 8X04598, 8WOX406, 1545683, 7A00065, 8ZQG659, 8XZX592, 8MXT291, 1149, 2Y1. United States Postal Service group stalking in a big old white van over here. 7VCN846, 7CUA 738, 8NSS 107, 6PWF 376, 8JXJ411. United States Post Office. Their vehicle number is 7531517. License 6PDK597, 8JXJ411, BF77K31 paper, BD01N55 paper, 72708R1, 4DSN761. 4UUM599, 6YNJ421, 6URK748, 8UPG028, 8NUC761, 4XNP929, 8UOP530, 6PTG661. T-Mobile is monitoring. T-Mobile located at 101 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. They're a relevant position. The entity keeping a fake sun in alignment with me. They're a facilitating venue, and I've also documented the directed light inside of your neighborhood T-Mobile. Documented that already. All right, they're demons and they're monitoring. 5XIX914. That's why an entity is stalking with a fake sun, so that the people of the state, wherever it is that you go, you are subject to surveillance by all of them, including the state of California. That's why you're stalking with an environment. And stalking, the notion of stalking with an environment, you need to understand that that's demonic. And demons are engaging in presence in that environment. They're demons. License. I read the license already. 8WYV191, 5U31907. 7RUB781, 9ASE434, 90124X1, 8LLS393, 8FO3887. 6XHV993, excuse me. 42416V1, 5UIG764, 5B KV347, 5ZXL627, 6UWU030, I believe. 8YKH007, 7MWN765, 8ZBY102, 9AEA622, 8PVD181, 10998J2. I can't really see that one. 8WYV200, I believe. I can't really see that one. 8XWD, I think I read that one already. DDMOND, I guess. Again, 8XWD341, 5EGC452, 6KDS670, 5BPL706, 4VFGO56. 8JHW968, 8DOR684, YP24522, that's Cornerstone Carriers Incorporated, 92887W2, AV9 1M68, I believe, or 60. That's a paper plate on a white Chevy pickup truck. 8PYN014, 6VPT247, 8XLN784. I think I read that one already. 8B26645, 1370395. That's Omnitrans. 6UWU030 is correct, yeah. 8XER312, 29679W2, AE23F83 paper, 8HBX363. A group stalking along what is the properties that are monitoring as well. Zolos Birreria, they're monitoring. The Verizon, the Bally Spa, the little thrift store over here, the Dole Express, they're monitoring. These demons are group stalking, lining their vehicles. They all have their headlights on. They're group stalking with light. 7BBS028, 4X77484, 8VSW553, 66489S1, 8MGB344, BU5BV96 paper, 7JWF477, 6MUBO96, CC46N42 paper, NAFA741, 6FQB801, 7RJM193, 87061P1, 8V, I can't really see that one, 9BCV718, 8SBM184, 5NPT190, 5RGP844, 7H96951, 4JJS371, 8WFZ684, 8AUN150, 8YJZ594, 8TX, I can't really see that one. 8AGZ949, 7PWT870. 8XBD091, 8NRP637, 6WXW664, 5MMC854, 7RMU599, 8SDA272, 7HQP933, 80D21P2, 8YQM707, 7SWL740, 8LAS601, 8RKW014, 7XUD616, 6GAB323, City of Ontario, license 1469660. Seven BCEO 62. I think I read that one already. Eight TWN 727. 8 CMY 313. 8 DKA 127. 8 JEY 963. 5X HM 098, I believe. 8 JKB 276, 7 BCEO 62, 8 AGZ 949, 8 TNJ 464, 5 RMT 583, 8 NXL 245, 71590 R2, 8 VVS 370. I think I read that one already. 3 NSC 646, 8 PHR 757. JROSBT. That's an African American male. JROSBT. And that's harassment. I'll prosecute him for that. That's a very sick, that's a demon on him, and that's Satan acting out and using this blackface minion who's monitoring another black woman. Ain't got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter in California. License 8 FRC 288, 7 USA 769. License 8 LCW 573, 7 SNZ 853, 56956K3. VSTAHOE 6LZA 736, 7 PGK 385. They're monitoring with this demon stalking with light over there. Got that license plate. They drive off. They're parked in the red. The little Maistiza cafe, they're monitoring. Amplified audible activity, demons stalking in the path with light. And these minions are monitoring together. That's amplified audible activity. License 8WQH 390. License 7VMZ 848, 8AUD 810, 44499U1, 7XER 819, I believe. 7XEB 819. I'll get that in a second. 7XPG 119, 7 S.I.I.S 773, 7X, I can't say that one, you said that. 7BUD 973. 8 BSG 824, 21016E3, 8 RAE 226, 17A 31G, 7 JEZ 990. J29, I can't see that one. 8 VO, I can't see that one either. 8 WHR 604. 9 ASE 419. 7 XER 819, yeah, that's correct. 8 SKJ 146. 7 VXE 240. 8 XYM 302. 7WZZ 755, 8XXW 926, BU 99516. I'm sorry, 8U 99516. 8 TTG 260, I believe. 8 TSD 385, I believe. 7 NWU 864, 4 VMU 526, 8 WWL 458, 36836Y2. License 8 WQN 064, 8 HXT 157, 8 FHA 915, 7 BWP 999, 8 AMC 977. License 5 KPZ 682. Let's see. Okay, run that one already. 8 WWL 458, 36836.2. You read that one. 8NMH 506, 8GEN 727, 7HMS 669, 7TBX 269, 7FBS 601, 7WSS 294, 409EJ Handicap 6LPY 756, 7BSE 837. All right, this minion over here on a motorcycle. This is license plate 332ZC9. That's a paper plate with Tennessee on it. And if that's not an American-born citizen, deport them out of their country, take them happy selves right on back to wherever they came from. License 5YEG 843. License 8EEU 596. 7:27 p.m. BDE 754, 6V30545, 8WRN 648, CB, I can't see that one, 7XU, I can't see that one, 8XNL 710, 8GRK 908, 8AYL 897, 8UKP 922, 8KUP 216, 6WMZ 178, GR654, 7VCM 337, 8YKF 761, and 29339R1, I believe, 8X10141, 52800G3, 5KJA 884, 6JKN 896, 5XUK 945, 8PXU 175, 7BNB 665, and I read that one already, 7LKB 853, 8ZCG 918, 7SEH 593, 8LQX 426, 7WLE 740, 8EKX 015, CB70U, I can't see that one, 7YXJ 039, and 8JMS 199. I think I read 8BDE 754 already. 7LKB 853, 8ZCG 918, 8MAJ 541, 8M25510, 8UOV 289, BF38J49, 8WST 113, and Nevada AREA area 51 on the back 08151K2. That's a Nevada plate on the front, and that's a California plate on the back. I don't know if area 51, it says LV area 51. Maybe that's not an actual license plate, but nonetheless, that's what's on the front of the back. 8FSZ422, 6NLS882, 37012G3, KIMSTRY, I believe. That's a white BMW, like a SUV type of BMW truck. It's 7:30 p.m. 7MPD 099, 5WGZ 873, 5WMC 854, Ontario Police 1451828, 50062Y2, Ontario Police driving vehicle number 1829. These are demons that are sounding their sirens all night long. This is a Latino male with a mustache, looks like a bald head. They're sounding their sirens. They're stalking with entity that's stalking by helicopter. They're stalking in direct light, and they are stalking in your face, and that's the grounds of federal prison. That's not only the only grounds of why the Ontario Police Department, as an agency, and also the officers that I document, are going to federal prison. ADGT 940. They shall be put out of business. So I'm showing you how they are infected. They are actually a harm to society, a threat to the public. 8KZZ079, they're all demons that are acting on what is the watch of Satan, where they, like I'm stating, the entity is now engaging in that which is a matter of public corruption, all right? Engaging in that which it is unbeknownst to you, and I'm telling you that which the entity wishes you not know about, 8ZOM 368. There will be a time where the entity is going to outright show you its true identity. All right, you are being informed about it beforehand, and demons such as the Ontario Police Department are a threat. They are a danger to the public. 8TUK 345. And demons demons alike. All right, and this is a population engaging in this criminal system, and it is out of the pit of hell. And Satan cannot be trusted. Satan is to be stripped of all 7VWT 722 of all guises under which it thinks it has authority, and it doesn't. So this is why you are revealing where Satan is, every corner that Satan is hiding in. 4DSN 761. And it's 7:32 p.m. And I want to be clear, as I cross the street, these demons, the Ontario police who are stalking, they're stalking the entire time. I like to point out, because you need to understand what they're doing. They wait until I cross the street in order to visibly drive by me, which is crossing path conduct. Your group's stalking as you cross path. You are stalking in relevant position while I'm reading all these license plates. They're monitoring with communication devices. They're monitoring together. They're group stalking. This demon wants to be seen and waits until I cross the street to arrive at the stoplight. Understand what that demon is doing, okay? So anyway, it's 7:33 p.m. They're asking for attention from the wrong one because they're going to get that and some more. 3LVN592, CB38V31 paper, 8DOX020, and 7JKN956, 7SBJ994. It is 7:33 p.m. Alrighty, group stalking on foot. So I'm capturing their group stalking in the path. License 8UQH262. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. 8GXT853. 7TVC551. And this is 89791Y2. This is the tow truck, group stalking on the side of 3-star janitorial, stalking in the path with light, 89791Y2. And this is Freeway Auto, 1500 Pass Road, Monterey Park. That's the tow company. They are group stalking using that company vehicle, and you're going to prosecute that company as well. It's 7:36 p.m. All right, criminal surveillance at 3-star janitorial, the tow truck, engaging in surveillance this, again, relevant positioning. So these are demons that are monitoring with communication devices. They're maintaining a presence all around me. And the Ontario Police is engaging in that by maintaining presence at the parking garage for the San Bernardino County Public Health Clinics, that parking garage at Plum and Transit. They're cross path as I am walking down Transit and doing so with light activity. This demon is on on Transit, monitoring with the Ontario Police Department at S.I.S Skate Arena. That's a facilitating venue. License plate 8B87283. This is exactly what the tow truck is doing. They're stalking with light. This is what demons do, okay? License 8B87283, captured engaging in what is stalking in the path, maintaining presence around the perimeter, and maintaining presence in relevant position. Alrighty, capturing video of what is this minion that's maintaining light activity, stalking in the path with light, in operation of a communication device as well, is what I observed. It's an overweight Latino male, looks to be in his 50s. He hovers in an airplane and flies directly over S.I.S Arena, making a U-turn. This is what is group stalking. They're maintaining presence and alignment with me and using a plane to engage in the group stalking conduct. 7KQL792. 8RHJ862. Andy's Burgers is monitoring. These demons are aligned in relevant position used in a drive-thru. They're all demons that are manifesting light. These are the same demons that touch me with directed light. They're group stalking in a drive-thru. That's all they're doing. 6VBU619. 6TZN222. CB7OU48 paper. 7JXH286. That's a minion creating audible activity. License 8UAZ655 8R13948 and is molesting as well. And that's the entity that's molesting. Understand that. Alrighty, it is 7:41 p.m. Okay, I captured a picture of this sex offender. Again, that license plate is 8R13948. License 8P8. I can't really see that one. 8LLG 45. I'll get this in a second. Hold on. Over here, group stalking with 8YSG162 group stalking with the people of the state who are maintaining presence by the drive-thru surrounding the perimeter with light. That's what the tow truck is doing. That's what the third party was doing. That's what the Ontario police were doing. License, and they're part of the same molestation. They're group stalking with children while they're being sex offended. Understand, all I will prosecute for every single last part of those facts. 8JJG250, 7J98430. 7KTP549, 8TOA 808. It's 7:42 p.m. Alrighty, engaged in surveillance in the parking lot. This is relevant positioning. License 8HIW123. That's a sex offender, molesting. Engaging in surveillance on the opposite side of the parking lot. There we go. A sex offender molesting. This is the B&G Plaza. This is license plate 8UOD499, molesting. It is currently 7:43 p.m. Understand, as I walk toward this location, that's a demon that was already anticipating my arrival. So pulling out of the parking spot is that sex offender's conduct with simultaneity to my arrival in order to touch me with light. That's a sex offender. All right. This is an ongoing surveillance by a people as I walk, again, deviating from what I would ordinarily do, just walk to the museum. And that's all that's engaged in. That's all that is entailed with what is group stalking, the state acting directly and vicariously, using planes, demons that are of the police department, engaging what is maintenance of presence. They know exactly who I am, and this ongoing concerted activity applies, and it's ongoing in a bathroom. While I document in a bathroom, a demon enters inside of a bathroom. Imagine that. That's all manner of terrorism. Sickos stalking, maintaining that ongoing focus, all this energy that they're going in to focus and following me around. This is occurring in a bathroom. All right, literally one of the demons, well, not one, but demons enter in to engage in this pattern of conduct. It's 7:44 p.m. I want to make sure that I read these license plates. They are also monitoring 7HCM281 and 7JBH182. I am at Shira's Liquor inside of the B&G Plaza, and that's what all of that group stalking and surrounding me as I make any movement, as I go around this is what they're doing. This is what the purpose of that is. That's massive surveillance, okay? That's P.O.C. It's 7:45 p.m. All right, we got tree trimming in the dark. This is activity creation and directed light. License BN22H21. That's paper. And this is El Grupo Guadalapano. They're in relevant position monitoring as well. This is a demon maintaining noise, okay? He's literally standing in the dark, trimming a tree. He's stalking with audible activity. It's the same street transit where the Ontario police came out of what is surveillance. They're still engaged in surveillance crossing paths, but they were maintaining position at the parking garage and then crossed the path as I'm walking. This is a demon maintaining noise in directed light. while the entity is stalking in the path with light. Okay, it's 7:59 p.m. Alrighty, this demon you see stalking in the path with light. License 8VYN 757. P.O.C. 7LUX 714. Group stalking on transit, crossing path. This is stalking in the path with light. It's 8 p.m. 97619K1, excuse me. Group stalking on a transit, right? Maintaining presence, and while they group stalk at nightfall, they're manifesting light. They're stalking with light. All right, it is, and on the same street where this demon is stalking in the path with noise, this is maintenance of activity while I'm walking, and I'm walking in direct to light. Okay, a demon pulling out a little tree trimming device in the dark in order to engage in what is activity creation. Now, with regard to what is in the dark, I still have multiple shadows on the ground. I'm being molested with what is direct light, but he's doing it in the dark, which would ordinarily be like a danger. But let me be clear: these are demons. They're stalking, and it's obsessive stalking. And I'm speaking to what is, even if it was well lit, that would be more light stalking the path. It is the pattern of conduct. This is a demon, and that ongoing engineered light remains present. It's 8:02 p.m.